Howdy guys, it's Luke at Luke's Affordable Paint Service, and in this video I'm going to take you through an advanced guide to flocking. Right guys, so in this video it's going to be me taking you through an advanced way of flocking, okay? When I mean advanced, I mean there's more than just 2 or 3 colours. The reason there's more than 2 or 3 colours is when you're working on a board, or if you're working on like a diorama like this, you've got more than 1 or 2 or 3 sort of areas that you need to consider. So like forest floor blending into a normal piece of earth, then going down to like the river on this, you want to change how the banking's changing. It's all things you've got to consider, okay? Now, I see it a lot, like I did it originally as well. When I bought flocks, I bought 2 colours. I thought dark and light, maybe a bit of clump and I'll be sorted. When you're flocking, it's not the case, okay? Having a variety of flocks, minimum 5, is a good start, okay? Now, I know that's an expensive way of doing it. Now, it was for me, because when I started flocking, I went out and I spent, it must have been £80 on Woodland Scenic stuff. Okay, now it's really good stuff, and it's the only stuff. There's a couple of bits from Serious Play and a few bits I use from Warworld Scenics as well. But foam flock is the one thing that overtakes everything for me. Okay, and there's not many places that sell it in the UK. So I've been working with Geek Gaming to bring out a premium quality range of foam flocks that's affordable. Okay, so when I'm saying to people, go out and buy these 3 colours in Woodland Scenics, it was between £10 and £14 for a tub. We're going to be able to do that for, well, not that expensive anyway. So I haven't got a full price yet, but it's going to be considerably cheaper. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you in this video a couple of the new flocks that I'm bringing out. There's a few colours that I'm using in Woodland Scenics, but we are bringing comparables out as well. It'll be the same fineness, the same everything. It's just the colour might be slightly different, but they'll be very comparable. So I thought it'd be perfect for you to tell you what's happening. I'm really looking forward to it because it's a product that I'm happy with. I've been testing it for the last 2-3 months now. Loads of different stuff saying that's not good enough, this is good enough. Because the benchmark with Woodland Scenics, because if it's as good as that or better, it's the only way I'd put my name on it. Alright guys, so it's all getting exciting, it's all getting I'm all looking forward to it, and I'm sure when you see the outcome of this, I'm sure you'll agree with me as well. Alright guys, so let's get the camera down, start flocking, and I'll see you at the end. Right, so first off, I use neat PVA glue, and I put this all over the brown areas where I want it. Okay, the reason I use neat and I don't water it down is because when you start doing all the wet work in and soaking it through, there's more glue to activate, and that soaks back into the flock. Another good reason to use foam flock over others is the fact that it's just like a sponge. It soaks plenty of water up. Right guys, so once you've got the glue on everywhere, we're going to go on to the first flock. Now I'm going on with the brightest green that we're doing. Now the reason we're doing a bright green is because Woodland Scenics don't do a bright enough green for me. It always seems to be a bit dull when you're finished. Now this is going to be one of the technical flocks that I'm bringing out because it's 2 flocks in one. Now if you can see it going down, it's creating a texture. That's why I haven't bothered sanding it, because it's quite clumpy. It's fine and clump mixed together, you see. Okay, so you get a really nice ground scatter. Now once you've got that sort of texture where you want it, grab yourself a sieve and sieve it through. Now this cover's awesome, and what it does, it takes all the harshness out, the clumps and everything, and it just blends really well. I mean, to be honest, the flock on its own looks very nice because you've got the dark and lights because of the texture underneath. And as you can see, I'm using hardly any there at all. Okay guys, so yeah, it's nice to have a nice light green. Then next up, we need to shade that down. So we get the same style of flock, the technical flock, which is clump and fine, but I don't want to add any dark weedy colours yet. I just want to add the shading. So all I do is I just sieve that out in the patches that I want a little bit darker. I put a bit on the rocks, and as you can see, I've not even applied any more glue yet. Now there's another reason for that, which I'll talk to you about in a second. Now with this dark green, just literally put it in the lower areas, okay, and that sort of accentuates the darker and the deeper areas where water would be residing more. Right guys, now the next one is sorting out the forest floor. Now we're going to be doing a pre-mixed forest floor flock. I think we're going to call it pine forest maybe, okay. Now it's all as flocks from the range. It's like 4 or 5 of them mixed together to make a forest floor scatter. Don't worry guys, I'm not going to keep it a secret from you. If you've got the flocks already, why buy it already mixed? We can tell you how to mix it as well. So that can be, if you've got the flocks, I can show you how to make this if you want to save yourself some money as well. So that's something else we can offer. Okay, so with this, it's just a really nice mix of browns, stones. It's got some 1mm pine needles in there. So when that turns into a forest floor, it'll look great. Okay. Now, I'm going to be using one of his cheaper ranges next. It's going to be a sawdust range. Now, we are going to do a more affordable range as well. But I like to mix sawdust as well as foam. Now, the only reason why I'd like doing that is because of different textures. With sawdust, it's grainy. It looks like broken bark. It looks like, you know, like it's got that sort of dead leaf look to it. And with it being like small rice grains, it just breaks it up from the constant powdery look, okay, so you get different grains and looks. Now we're going to Earth Blend from Woodland Scenics. Now, we are bringing a comparable version out, just haven't got it to hand yet, that's all. Now, literally with this, I use it just to add some highlighted areas to that light green. It also shows some like deader grass. Don't need a lot, just a little sprinkling for that final highlight. And then we get an Earth Blend colour, which is like a mid-green, okay, and it gets rid of that sort of harshness of that really bright green. And that's called, I think that's called Green Blend from Woodland Scenics. But again, we are bringing a comparable version out. Just a very fine dusting, just to tie all your different greens together. And then we go on to Burnt Grass, okay? Now, Burnt Grass, if anybody knows anything about flocking, Burnt Grass is a magical flock. So guess what? We're bringing that out as well. Best thing about Burnt Grass is it, no matter what colour flocks you use, it blends over everything because it's a really nice browny, yellowy green, okay? Really works. So after you've done that, what we do then is we go on with some Burnt Grass coarse flock to add a bit of weed area, a bit more texture in places where you might want it. What we're going to do next? Yes, always clean your pond, always clean your rivers and water effects. You don't want any of that sticking down. Now, after cleaning the pond or river, whatever it's going to be, I literally just get a bit more of the forest floor covering because I really like it, the mix of it. And I'm just putting a few more areas where it looked like it's been blown off the rocks and, you know, just accenting areas with a bit more browner colours. Okay. Now we're going to be sealing this down after I've just done this step with a serious clay white. I love this colour. It really works well for highlights and things. Only need a bit. Now, next step is sealing it down. Now we use isopropanol for that. It's just, I think it's a 3rd iso, rest of water. You just spray it on, and the reason we're using iso is because it's the penetrative value is just so good of it. Okay, so when we spray on the PVA glue, it seals it down solid because it penetrates right through. I spoke about this on the ground formations video at the beginning. Okay, works the same way on flock. Okay. So that's why you can work on it dry. You can get an idea of how it's going to work before you seal it. So if you don't like anything, you can brush it off with a brush. That's why I like working like this. Next step is just applying some clump foliage. We are bringing a range of clump out. Now I'm just using the Woodland Scenic stuff for now till we got our own colours and stuff. Now, this clump foliage is gorgeous, and our clump foliage that I've got as well is very nice. It's as good. Okay, so it'll be roughly the same colours and roughly the same material. So if you've used this stuff before, you'll know exactly how good it is. Okay, now I just put neat PVA glue down and stick it on. Once it's stuck on, what I do then is I get a dark colour, but don't go over the top with your darker colours, okay? Just accent it with a couple of bits just to break up the colours a bit. As you can see, I'm getting like small pieces and I'm separating it and just putting some tiny pieces in the little bushes, okay? Now once you've put that on, you're going to have to seal the clump flock. Okay, now spray it directly on top of the clump foliage, and the isopropanol just soaks straight in, and then repeat with the PVA glue. All underneath is still wet, so it all starts bonding together and becoming solid. Okay, when this is dry, it takes overnight, it'll be dry. Okay, now we're going with some burnt grass. Again, like I said, magic stuff, and literally just throw this all over the clump foliage, just sprinkle it, just to make it all tie together. It's like doing a wash on your miniatures. That's what burnt grass is for. Now I'll go back to my dark green that we use with the sieve, but I don't sieve it this time. What I'm doing is I'm having like loads of patches of weeds, okay, and that's why we're going to call it the technical flocks. You get some nice weed colours and you get shadowing when you use it with a sieve. Okay, so it's two flocks in one. Then after you've done all that, just spray it down with just watered down PVA glue again, and that's it done. Now, adding accents and details, I was going to do this in a different video, but what I thought I'd just throw it into this because it's all part of detailing and doing nice things, isn't it? What I'm sticking on here is just some privet bush, and I've stuck some bits of sea foam on it, just some tiny bits to make some like dead trees, because as you're aware, I'm going to be turning this into a frozen like sort of snowy semi-frozen winter top diorama, so it's nice to have some dead branches where you can just get some snow catching some of the branch works. Okay, so I've used the sea foam as like a fine branch structure. I can show you how to make these if you want, but it's as simple as getting small pieces of sea foam and sticking it to the branches. Now once you've stuck them in, I'm just putting it on with some PVA glue. If it's a Wargaming piece, stick them down with super glue or epoxy, or even green stuff them into a gap somewhere, okay, so they're a lot harder. But with this just being a dio, I'm just using a bit of PVA glue. Once I've got them in place, what I do now is I get some trees that I've made. Now if you've seen the more realistic pines video that I did using static grasses to make pine trees, they're the trees that I'm going to stick down. I made about 6 or 7 of them, all different sizes, and I'm just going to stick these all in the area where they're brown. Now the best thing about this being a diorama, I can just push them into the foam, so I'll put some glue around the base of them and just push them in. Okay, so once that's all dry, they should be in there solid enough just for looking at. Okay, so I'll leave you with the rest of the video so you can see me finishing it off and a close-up, and I'll see you at the end. Now just before I go, I forgot about this bit. Literally what I'll do is I put some PVA glue around the base of the tree, and then I put the pine forest cover on some paper. I fold it up and I pour it around the base of the tree. It's hard to get your hands in, but the paper just fits under the tree nicely, and it covers all that PVA glue, and it gives it some sort of a branchy weed structure where there's more built up forest floor stuff, that's all. Okay. Right guys, so when you're all done, this is what it should be looking like at this point. Now I am really papping it about snowing this up and doing all the water effects on this piece because I've really enjoyed it, but I've got to learn how to do snow effects, so I'll see you for the next video and we'll end it now. Right, so you saw the outcome. I mean, post, tell me what you think. I mean, I like working with more arid colours. You've seen before, me working with greens and stuff. It's not something that I do regular, but I have done on this because 1, I need to learn how to get better, and 2, it's more commonly used is the darker greens. Okay, so working in reverse for flocking works really well. Now I might have done a bit too much with the light green to start off, like I did it everywhere, but that was just me learning the flock because I haven't used it properly before. But even still, when I've put it everywhere and you look at it properly, in the undergrowth you can still see fine bits poking through, you know how the clump works. So it has added quite a lot of depth and texture to the overall thing, and the best thing about that, I flocked all that. You saw how much flock I used, and it's literally on the tub, it's gone down about a few mil. Alright, so I find flock far more affordable overall because you don't use as much, whereas a £10 of static grass and £10 of flock, £10 of static grass disappears quickly, whereas flock, it lasts a hell of a lot longer and it covers far better as well, I find. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've got any questions, you know where the box is. Yeah, so if you've liked the video, like, share and subscribe, and I'll keep you posted about us Ranger flocks. Catch you again soon.